Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome. My name is Menachem Creditor. It's my honor to serve as scholar in residence and rabbi for UJA Federation of New York. We bring you Torah and music, blessing, and community every weekday. We've been doing so since March 18th. Today it is February 3rd. It's broadcast 1,483, which is remarkable just as a number to say. Let's see who's here so we can say good morning to each other. Bruce and Michelle, Ryan and Scott, John and Susie. Hi, Lydia. Penny, nice to see you. I jumped the gun. I said the number, but you always get credit for it. It is broadcast 1,483. Thank you, my friend, for keeping us on track. George and Carl, Arlene and Dave, Linda, Boker Tov, kind soul. Neil, so nice to see you. Sending you love from everybody in my household. All right, Jack and Diane. Oh, that's funny. That's a good song. Nice to see both of you. Marsh and Patricia and Judy, Boker Tov. All right, friends, let's take a breath. We're going to sing a bracha, learn some Torah. Oh, Lydia, sending you tefillot. You're scheduled for double medical procedures. You said you're feeling positive but a little anxious. With you, we are all sending you great wishes for strength and that everyone who cares for you shows you the same care that we feel for you too. Carolyn and Michelle, so good to see you. Eileen and Sharon, Karen and Glenda, Ashley and Cecile. All right, we've got more than a minyan. Let's share some love, sing a bracha. Here we go. So good morning, everybody. It's so good to see all of you. I want to reflect one comment that was coming in while we were singing the bracha. Joy, sending you such love. I want to read out loud what you said and amplify it. You wrote, Boker Tov from Minneapolis, a collective, interdependent culture of families caring for each other. That is what my America sounds like. You are what my America looks like. And I'm so glad that you are here representing the best of who we are. Thank you for that. We're with you. Ayala, you're saying Boker Tov from Nahariya in Israel. That is also such a pleasure and privilege to witness. So let me amplify all of those things and honor it with a little bit of Torah for today. It's Parshat Yitro, which in my family is just the best Parsha. Not only because it's the revelation of Torah at Har Sinai, at Mount Sinai, but also because revelation includes so many things, including love. Sometimes we open ourselves up to the universe and we ask for blessing no matter how vulnerable we have felt beforehand. Think about our ancestors. They barely made it out of Egypt. They just crossed the sea. And yes, we're good at kvetching every step along the way, including before and after Sinai. But for a moment, this people that has gone through a lot is given the greatest gift of all, an encounter with a loving other. And so this is a moment for us to appreciate. Parshat Yitro is named for someone who isn't an Israelite. Moses' father-in-law is the priest of Midian, And so what a gift it is also to know that our story of revelation, the moment where Am Yisrael receives Torah, is named for a wisdom teacher outside of the tribe. Halavai, wouldn't it be beautiful if with the hearts coming from different faiths, we were able to do some revelatory work together? There are pockets where that's possible, and we should double down on that energy. It should not be lost on us that the Torah portion that tells of the giving of the Torah is named for a religious leader who is not an Israelite. That is so important. And when he shows up on the scene, there's this very interesting phrase that tells us or hints for us what his motivation was. Why did he show up? In the Hebrew, this is chapter 18, verse 1 of the book of Shemot. Vayishma Yitro chohen Midyan choten Moshe. So Yitro, the priest of Midyan, the father-in-law of Moshe, heard. And we're not quite sure what he heard. There's a lot to have heard. He heard perhaps about the splitting of the sea and the plagues. Well, Rashi points to three different possibilities and then weaves two. He could have heard about the plagues. He could have heard about the splitting of the sea, and he could have heard about the attack that Amalek perpetrated on Am Yisrael, on the most vulnerable of all of us. And especially, my dear friend Julie is pointing out here that February is Jewish Disability Awareness Month. And how important for us to understand that the arch enemy of the Israelites, of the Jews, of humanity actually, is Amalek. And what makes Amalek the arch enemy? Because their destructive intention begins with the most vulnerable in society. That's how they're described in the Torah. They attack the rear of the camp, those who have what we would call mobility issues, or in a desert, what kind of accessibility could there possibly be? Certainly in our modern culture, especially given the heroic vision of my friend Julie, who helped found the synagogue that I served in Berkeley, California, there was no bima because, number one, why should anyone be situated above anyone else? Number two, there's no need for access when everything is on the same level. We could construct our world in such a way that extraordinary measures are unnecessary. This month, we should double down not on how to make the inaccessible a little bit more accessible, but what leads us to make things inaccessible in the first place. When we are constructing new spaces, perhaps we could begin with a mindset that isn't about accommodation, but is about equality. Everyone having access to the holy, to sacred moments. And so when Rashi is wondering about what did Yitro hear, clearly he didn't hear about Jewish Disability Awareness Month. But Yitro brings a sensitivity to his work as a religious leader that is so important for us. Rashi suggests that he heard two things. He heard about the splitting of the sea, and then he heard about the attack from Amalek. And listen to it in our modern context. What does it mean to hear about the splitting of the sea? It means a miracle happened for this people. This people is loved by the divine. Miracles happen. But what does it mean to combine that with hearing about Amalek? It means just because a people had a miracle happen for them doesn't make them suddenly not vulnerable. Yitro knew that he had to show up and stand in solidarity with the people because they had gone through something miraculous and still were vulnerable in the world. What an essential message for us to expect our friends and allies to hear. Just because of the beauty of our heritage and our history, just because we somehow have been able, even in a post-October 7th world, to achieve the unfathomable, bringing all of our beloveds home, and weakening the enemies that sought to destroy us yet again. Even with the miracle of who we are, it doesn't make us invulnerable. Anyone who went to the 92nd Street Y this week to hear Brett Stevens in conversation with Rabbi David Ingber about the state of world Jewry, and saw not just hecklers, but people spewing hate, a few in the audience, situated there just to disrupt the state of world Jewry, making very clear the point that Bret Stephens was pointing to about how to respond to anti-Semitism, but also outside, spewing hatred in a way that shows, yes, we are an extraordinary people, but our vulnerability continues. Valerie, who's here on the broadcast on Facebook, has been fighting with incredible endurance and determination and discipline and heart, with all of our support, on behalf of the Jewish community and on behalf of values, human values, at Columbia and beyond. We are an extraordinary people who remain vulnerable in the world. It is possible, as Yitro discerned, to be extraordinary, to be a miraculous people for whom the sea splits, and still to be vulnerable to attack from an Amalek of that time or this. We are no less beautiful than we have ever been. I would argue that because of the work of our ancestors, upon whose shoulders we stand, we are even closer to the light than we've ever understood. We are beautiful. We are miraculous. And with all of that, friends, with all of that, we should expect our allies to understand that we are also human. Human. And we are stronger when we stand together, when we are held. Now, we will show that value to every beleaguered community. I'm so proud of the work UJA has done, no matter what we have faced in these last 2.5 years, to keep our hearts open and to work in collaboration, in coalition with other groups. That's part of the commitment that we bring to the world. We should expect it in response. Because Amalek isn't the non-Jewish world. Amalek is the enemy of humanity. Amalek is hatred and judgment, cruelty. Amalek is the impulse to dehumanize. And John, to your question of you, as you've just asked it, what do we do when Amalek comes from within? The answer is we are just like every other community, and we must hold ourselves accountable. When there is hatred, the impulse to dehumanize, we must call it out and never empower it, certainly never amplify it. Because Amalek transcends the boundaries of tribe. And therefore the problem is shared. Yitro heard about the miracle of Yam Suf, of the Red Sea, and then heard about the attack from Amalek. And what does he do? He shows up. I have been blessed in my work with clergy of different faiths on behalf of UJA and the Westchester Jewish Council and the JCRC of Long Island to meet beloved friends, a treasure of holy people who are willing and able and determined to show up when there's a moment of vulnerability or a moment, God forbid, of attack. We must be ready to follow Yitro's model, to know that whichever community comes to mind when I say them, that they're beautiful too, and worthy of miracles like seas splitting, that liberation must be a collective story. It has to happen in every region, every city. Joy, I see you. And I'm sending this message specifically to you in Minneapolis and to everyone else. Yitro is the opposite of Amalek, and we should follow his model. How important it is for us in this Torah portion that deals with our moment of Torah to know that it is named for a non-Israelite wisdom teacher, because in allyship we can combat Amalek successfully. May we live to see the day, and may we help it happen, that Amalek fades from the world. Maybe even fulfilling what we read last week in Parshat B'Shalach at the very end of it. Timche et zecher Amalek. May we one day not even remember that there was a need to fight because we did our work. May we be blessed to truly be students of Yitro, and in that way receive Torah with a collective heart that transcends tribe. Let's send our hearts to the east, friends. Let's sing. Kol hod malevav penima nefesh Yehudi homia ולפתי מזרח קדימה, עין לציון צופיה. עוד לא אבדה תקוותנו, התקווה בת שנות 2000, להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון וירושלים. להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון וירושלים. Am Yisrael Chai. See you tomorrow, my friends.